Yo, what's going on, everybody? B Woody here, man. Excited to welcome you back to another episode of Sports from the Cave, the show that gives you a whole lot of sports and a few tips along the way, man. I appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me as usual. Episode number 4. We got here kind of quick. I'm excited to be here with y'all today, man. So we got a great lineup for you. We're going to take a little trip around the sports world because we got some news coming out a couple different places. And we're going to get into a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a little bit, man. The NBA gearing back up after the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fighting for seeding. We in full effect. So we're going to talk about who's for real and who's not, man. Who are the teams that can really take this thing all the way and win a championship, all right? So we're going to get into all of that. And then at the end, we're going to wrap it up with my tip of the day. And today's tip is a man cave tip of the day, all right? So can't wait to share that with y'all. Stay to the end. I'm excited about the episode. Let's get it rolling. All right, y'all. So to kick it off for today, I got a brand new segment for you, man. And I'm excited to share this with y'all. Because this segment we calling the runaround. All right. Like I said, we're going to take you on a trip through the sports world and get you all the latest updates. And we're going to try to do it fairly quickly. All right. We're going to drag this one out too long. All right. And I can't forget, this segment is being brought to you by Dad Gang. And now that I think about it, as a dad, future dad, or if your kid's already here, you're going to do a lot of running around, man. You're going to be doing drop-offs. You're going to be doing pickups, whether it's school or activities after, after school. If your wife is pregnant, you're going to be running around like me, going to grab food all the time, running to the grocery store. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere, man. And what better to run around in than a Dad Gang hat? Especially if you like me, because I missed my haircut appointment last week, so my hair is looking crazy. So before I walk out the door, I just grab my Dad Gang hat and throw it on, man. You know what I'm saying? It makes it super easy. It goes with everything. It looks good, super comfortable. You can't go wrong. All right? So click the link in my description. Get you 15% off at Dad Gang. You don't want to miss out, man. That's my gift to all the dads out there. All right? So now that we got all that out the way, let's give you the runaround, man. We're going to start off in the WNBA with Diana Taurasi, who's retiring after 20 seasons. What a career, bro. What a career. One of my favorite WNBA players of all time, man, for sure. I was checking out all her accolades and accomplishments and all of that stuff, and the list is long, bro. Like, her trophy case is crazy. But I kind of shortened it up so, you know what I'm saying, we can give you the shorter version. So check this out. She got 3 national championships at UConn. She has 3 WNBA titles. 2 of those times she was the WNBA Finals MVP. She has 6 Olympic gold medals, bro. The most of any woman or man in the Olympic history. 6 of them. Yo, she has 1 WNBA MVP, like the overall MVP. She's an 11-time WNBA All-Star. 14 times she was voted All WNBA. She has 5 scoring titles, right? And she's the WNBA leader in points, field goals made, and 3-pointers, right? And in points, she's leading by like 3,000 of them, bro. Like, golly. Dana, what weren't you doing, bro? Like, and that's the short list. Like, literally, she got championships overseas in like Turkey and Russia. Like, she got MVPs over there, bro. It is crazy, man. So super successful career. Shout out to Diana Taurasi, man. Like, salute. You did everything you were supposed to do, like, and you took it way further than what you're supposed to do. So shout out to Diana Taurasi. I wish you all the best in the future, man. Hopefully we'll see her call some games, or, you know what I'm saying, be on a Sports Center or whatever. So, because she definitely knows the game. So I wish you all the best in everything, Diana Taurasi. All right. So moving on, the Chiefs GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, says that Travis Kelce is expected to return for the 2025 season, which is huge news for Kansas City. Because replacing a piece like Travis Kelce, that's a big thing to do for sure, man. So the fact that he's coming back, I knew he couldn't go out like that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? As we all know, they had a terrible game in the Super Bowl. And, I mean, Travis Kelce is the ultimate competitor. And I knew he couldn't go out like that, bro. So to see him come back, I'm happy for him. Hopefully better turnout this year. But I believe in Travis for sure. If I believe in anybody, I know him and Pat can get it done. So shout out to Travis Kelce for coming back. That's huge news for Kansas City. All right, y'all. So next up, I don't know if you remember this, but Draymond Green was on TNT during the All-Star break, and he said that the Warriors could win a championship this year. And I don't know if I agree with him. I don't know. But since they came back, they have looked good. They won the last 6 games out of 7, and they only 1 game out of 6th place in the Western Conference now. Jimmy Butler fitting in real nice with the team. The ball's moving. I think the other night against Charlotte, they had like 39 assists in the game or something like that. Them boys rolling, man. Steph looking like Steph again. Jimmy getting to the line like he usually does, which that was a huge piece that they were missing. They getting out and they running. They pushing the ball up the court. It looks dangerous. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Them boys been there before, and it looks dangerous. All right, so y'all might want to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what they can do, but we do know they've been there multiple times before. So, like I said, I'm not agreeing with them, but it does look really dangerous right now. And that's been a runaround, man. We're going to move on to the next segment, and we're going to get to the main thing. All right, y'all. So like I said earlier, NBA is in full effect, man. Football season is over. It's all about the NBA right now. And all these teams out here fighting for seeding, putting their finishing touches on the season, trying to see where they stand. So we got to figure out who are the real contenders, man. Who's for real and who's not. All right. So we're going to start off in the Western Conference. And before I do anything, I'm going to give y'all a rundown of the top 10 teams because you know we got to go 10 because those bottom 4 end up in the play-in, right? So we're going to go top 10 teams in the Western Conference. All right, here we go. You got Oklahoma City at number 1. Number 2, you got the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 3, you got the Denver Nuggets. 4, you got the Lakers. Number 5, you got the Rockets. 6, you got the Clippers. Number 7, you got the Timberwolves. At 8, you got the Warriors. At 9, you got the Mavericks. And at number 10, you got the Sacramento Kings. All right? Those are your top 10. So out of those 10, here are the people who I think are actually contenders, right? Because the West is a little bit tougher than the East, in my opinion. So starting off, we got to go Oklahoma City. Been the best team all year. Got the best record in the NBA, right? They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is a machine. This dude is unstoppable, man. He's averaging 32 points on 52% shooting, man. It is crazy. Like, he can take you to the rim. He got a mid-range game. He can shoot the step back 3. Like, Shai is ridiculous, bro. Like, he really is. And he's definitely the leader for the MVP, in my opinion. Just being honest. But yeah, he got that team humming right now, man. Them boys are balling. And mind you, they got the number 1 defense in the NBA too. They can put up a lot of points and they can keep you under 100. Them boys are balling right now. They got a few injuries. They waiting on Chet Holmgren to get fully healthy. Isaiah Hartenstein been in and out of the lineup, but them dudes are balling right now. So you definitely got to go with them. They are for sure contenders. Next up, you got the Memphis Grizzlies, in my opinion. Ja Morant is balling. Jaren Jackson is balling. Jaren Jackson is probably the leader for Defensive Player of the Year right now. He's also averaging 22.9 points, which is the highest in his career. So he's having a career year, man. Like, them dudes are dangerous, man. And they got the supporting cast to go with those guys. They bench is deep. They got a 7'4" dude at center. Zach Edey. Definitely contenders for sure, bro. Shout out to Taylor Jenkins too, because last year the year kind of fell apart after Ja came back and got hurt. Had a lot of injuries. Season wasn't going well. What he did was he just started playing all his young guys. Let them get all the burn. And now it's paying off, man, because them dudes, they got a lot more experience. They getting in there and they being a supporting cast that they supposed to be to the stars. So shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Taylor Jenkins. They are definitely contenders in this thing, right? So my next team, the Denver Nuggets, right? Denver is always in there, in my opinion. Because you got Jokic, you got Jamal Murray. They always going to hang around for sure, right? And I said this, I said that they're contenders because they've been there before, right? So they know what it takes. The team has remained relevant for the most part the same. For the most part, they got the same pieces in there. So I think they've won the last 10 out of 11 games, which I had to look at it. A lot of those teams weren't very good. They had the Pelicans, they had the Hornets, they had a couple other teams. They lost to the best team that they played, which was the Lakers. But I got to put them in there because Jokic is also having another MVP season. I think he's right below Shai in my opinion. But dude is averaging 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. He's averaging a triple-double. So Nikola Jokic is ridiculous, man. One of the top 3 players in the NBA right now, for sure. So got to put them in there as contenders too. Now, after those 3, this is where it gets very, very interesting, bro, in my opinion, right? So you got the Lakers, who made the trade with Dallas, the blockbuster trade with Dallas to get Luka. And I didn't know how this was going to work with him and LeBron on the court. But Luka's still getting his feet under him. He's still, working his way back into shape, getting used to being the Lakers organization. But there are signs, bro. I've been watching them the last couple weeks, and there are signs that this team could be very, very good. For sure, man. I know they missing that piece in the center. You know, they tried to make the trade and it got vetoed because the guy from Charlotte, he didn't pass the physical. So trade got vetoed for the big man out of Charlotte. But Jackson Hayes has been doing enough for sure. A shout out to JJ Redick because he's showing himself to be an offensive mind, but also a defensive mind too. Because his scheme for Nikola Jokic, his scheme for Karl Anthony Towns when they played, it's been great, man. It's been great, and they got a lot of tall, long wings, and it's been working. So he got that defense humming too. So the Lakers are dangerous, and whenever you got LeBron and now Luka on the same team, man, you know you're gonna score points. So it's gonna come down to defense, and I mean it's gonna get tough on them because once you're in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, having a big man is, you know, who can block shots and stuff is a big deal. But they do look good. They do look good because Luka out there playing quarterback and Bron just playing receiver at this point. So yeah, man, you got the Lakers, right? But then right behind that, you got two teams. You got the Mavericks and you got the Warriors. Warriors at 8, Mavericks at 9. Now, the reason I say these two teams are very interested because we just talked about the Warriors and how they look coming out of the All-Star break. They look really, really good. But you got the Mavericks down there, right? Who they got a lot of players injured, right? And every game that they've been playing, they've been in the game. They just haven't had that slight push to get over the hump, right? So this all depends on health. And whenever you're talking about Anthony Davis, you're definitely talking about depending on health because Anthony Davis tends to be out a lot. That's why his nickname is Anthony Street Clothes Davis, right? But if AD can come back and somehow stay healthy, and he's going to average 25 points and get you 10 rebounds a game, with the way Kyrie and the rest of that team is playing, I wouldn't want to see them, bro. Especially if they hang around towards that bottom, like between 6 to 8. If they mess around getting the play in, they get out. I'm just saying, bro. I wouldn't want to see them, and I wouldn't want to see the Warriors either. So those last 3 teams is where it gets very, very interesting because they all kind of surging right now. So we'll see. All right. So that's the Western Conference, right? So let's move on to the Eastern Conference. And this one is a little bit easier. And there's really one team I want to talk about in the Eastern Conference, and y'all know that's the Knicks. But we'll get to that in a second, right? So I'm going to give y'all the top 10 in the Eastern Conference now. We got the Cavs, right? Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1. We got the Celtics at number 2. We got my Knicks at number 3. Number 4, we got the Pacers. Number 5, we got Milwaukee, right? Number 6, we got the Detroit Pistons, which is crazy. Shout out to Detroit, man. Number 7, we got the Orlando Magic. Number 8, we got the Atlanta Hawks. Number 9, we got the Miami Heat. And number 10, we got the Bulls, right? Those are your top 10 in the Eastern Conference right now. In my honest opinion, there's really only 3 of these teams that can really compete for a championship, right? There's 3 teams, and there's one on the outside looking in, and we'll get to that in just a second, right? So the 3, we got the Cavs, who's number 1. We got the Celtics, number 2. Definite contenders for sure. If you look at the Celtics, they pretty much got their whole team back from the championship last year. They've been able to stay healthy. They shooting threes at a super high clip, man. I think they averaging like 48.4. I think when I saw the stat, 48.4 threes a game, and hitting them too. Like it's not just throwing up threes; like they knocking them down. Like it's tough to keep up because you're trading 2s for 3s. All them dudes playing extremely well. You got Porzingis, who's been able to stay healthy. Tatum has taken it to another level. Jaylen Brown doing his thing. The bench is participating. You got Derek White. Man, they just loaded. They are loaded for sure. So yeah, they're gonna be tough, right? Then you got the Cavs, who look, they've been putting it on people, bro. Like they just won the other night in Orlando by like 40 something points. It was like the highest road win in Cleveland history or something like that. Like it's crazy, man. They've been putting it on people, man. Donovan Mitchell balling, Darius Garland balling, Jared Allen balling. Like literally, you go down the list, every player, every single one having a great season, bro. Like even the bench guys, Jerome, coming. I'm pretty sure he comes off the bench. And it's Mobley balling. Like it's ridiculous, bro. They can shoot, they can get to the rim, they play defense. They're a tough team, right? And the stuff that they do travels. So they're gonna be a tough team to beat. I'm not putting them over the Celtics right now, of course, because the Celtics, you got to beat the champ to beat the champ, but they're gonna be tough. The third team that I have that has the potential to make a run and go, the Milwaukee Bucks, right? And the reason I put the Milwaukee Bucks in there is because they have a really, really tough team, right? Dame can score a lot of points. We know Giannis is a hooper, been an MVP before. Um, and they just tough. They tough. Now, only downside, they're missing Bobby Portis because he got suspended for like 20 something games for PEDs or performance enhancing drugs. So they're missing a key piece. He's a big role player. But you let them get in the playoff with some confidence. They hang around in those middle seeds where they don't have to necessarily play one of the higher seeds immediately. They can make a run and they can sneak somebody for sure, right? Those are the three teams that I got that can legit make a run and be a contender. And like I said, there's one team on the outside looking in, right? And that team is my New York Knicks. And the reason I say they're on the outside looking in is because the Knicks, I think, are number 6 in scoring or in offense in the NBA, right? Can score all day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can put the ball in the rim, no problem. But the Knicks are in the bottom of almost every defensive category in the NBA, man. And it's sad because this is not reminiscent of a Tom Thibodeau team at all, right? Thibodeau's all about defense. Last year, we played much better defense. But the difference between last year's team and this year's team, right? There was a big change with Karl-Anthony Towns, right? Karl-Anthony Towns is an excellent scorer, can put the ball in the rim any kind of way possible. I love it. But he's not a defender, right? He doesn't like to play the 5 because he's not a shot blocker, right? He's more of a scorer. He wants to get out and run a little bit. He wants to hit trailer threes and stuff like that. So he doesn't like to play the 5, right? And when you have Karl-Anthony Towns behind you, you have to play defense different because I know in the back of my head, if the man gets past me, he's getting to the rim because Karl-Anthony Towns is not coming to block his shot at all, right? And I heard Eddie House say something about the Knicks, and he said, if the Knicks are waiting on Mitchell Robinson to come and turn their season around, they're lost. Or he said something to the extent of that, right? As Knicks fans, we are not waiting on Mitchell Robinson to come and turn the season around. He's not that guy, right? Mitchell Robinson's not scoring 20 points. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't lift you over the hump. What Mitchell Robinson does do, he's a shot blocker. He affects people's shots without even having to jump. He brings a certain toughness and grit to the team. Like he's one of those just kind of do it all players on defense for sure. So I say all that to say, when Mitchell Robinson is behind you, you can close out a little harder on threes, right? You can be a little bit more aggressive. You can go for the steal. You know what I'm saying? You can make those plays where your defense turns into offense and you can get out and run a little bit more. So that's what we're looking forward to, right? Not necessarily looking forward to him coming in and scoring a bunch of points. We need him to come in and affect us on defense, right? Which I honestly believe he can and will do. So we'll wait to see what happens when he comes back. Like I said, hopefully we can get a little bit more aggressive on defense, force some turnovers, and hopefully that defense turns into offense, and that's the way we make the difference. So it's yet to be seen. The Knicks are definitely on the outside looking in. But that's not saying that we can't get into the playoffs and this thing works out. So we're just going to have to wait and see. All right, y'all. So before we get out of here, I got to leave you with my man cave tip of the day, right? So we've been gathering our stuff. We've been putting all this stuff together so we can get it up on the walls and everything, right? But you can't necessarily hang everything like this, right? Everything don't go in a picture frame. Sometimes you got helmets and stuff you want to put up like we talked about earlier. So what are you going to need? You're going to need some floating shelves, man. And this was actually much easier than I thought it would be. I'm not really good at hanging stuff up, getting it straight and all of that stuff. But these were super easy, right? So I got these shelves off of Amazon. And I'm going to leave the link in my description so you can check them out, right? Simple floating shelves. They got a bunch of different colors on there and everything, right? And it's super easy to put up. So what they do, they send you these little things, right? These go into the drywall. I don't think you see them. These go into the drywall so they can hold your screws, right? Super easy to put in there. All you really need, you need a drill, of course, and you need a level, right? A level so you can make sure the shelves are on the wall, right? But after you put this into the drywall, right, you take the screws and you level this on the wall, and you can kind of draw on the little things to make sure you get the holes right. But you put this on the wall and you put 4 screws in there, right? Comes with 4 of the little things that go in the drywall, 4 screws. This sticks to the wall, and then like literally, you take the shelf and this just slides right in. right? It slides all the way in just like that, and it sits straight up on your shelf like that. Super easy, bro. Like, so glad I did this. It looks so good. They came in a pack of 4, I believe, and like I said, I'll leave the description and I'll leave the link in the description so y'all can check them out. But yeah, man, get you some floating shelves so you can put stuff up there and make everything look good. All right. So that's my man cave tip of the day. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming and checking me out. Like, share, subscribe. You can always follow me on Instagram at You Can't Be Woody. You can also follow me on TikTok at YCBW Sports for all the latest news and all of that stuff, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming back to hang out with me. As always, we out.